Every weekday, nearly 60 million Americans, 1/5 of the entire population, spend 8 hours trapped inside what some experts consider the germiest buildings in America. Trapped inside these buildings with them are millions of invisible enemies seeking to make them ill or sometimes even kill them. We're talking about diseases such as staph, E. coli, Shigella, influenza, MRSA, and mold. These denizens of the invisible world are all around us, on flat surfaces and chair backs, on computer keyboards and mice, door handles and sink handles. Where do you find all these hidden killers? Where is the germiest building in America? It's a public school. And while the situation is bad enough when we consider middle schools and high schools, it's an even bigger issue in elementary schools. Young children do not have fully developed immune systems. They're known in the medical industry as immunocompromised. Yet every day we expose them to bacteria and viruses and mold spores. What can be done about it? Typically, there are two responses. We can teach kids better hygiene practices like hand washing and bathing so they don't bring germs with them. And when they do get exposed, school nurses and doctors are there to help them deal with headaches and nausea. But what can we do about the germs that do get into our schools and onto our surfaces, waiting patiently for days, weeks, even months for unsuspecting hands and pencils and backpacks? There is only one professional that can do anything about getting rid of the germs that have infected our buildings: the school custodian. Custodians should be the first line of defense against pathogens in the schools. Unfortunately, most janitors today are not trained or equipped to deal with this invisible world. They do not understand the spread of disease or how to break the infection cycle. And they're armed with antiquated tools, mops and buckets, rags and spray bottles that don't actually attack bacteria. In fact, they spread it around, becoming disseminators that carry disease from surface to surface, classroom to classroom. According to Dr. Charles Gerba of the University of Arizona, mops and rags give germs a free ride. You can actually make things worse if you are not cleaning properly.
The vast majority of restrooms today are cleaned with a traditional string mop. However, there are some inherent problems with mopping, problems that can compromise health. First, to save time and reduce slip-fall accidents, most restrooms are damp mopped, which typically involves a single pass with a very small amount of cleaning solution. This thin film of solution is insufficient to remove, emulsify, or disinfect the soils on the floor. Besides, as soon as the dirty mop is wrung or dipped into the bucket, the solution becomes contaminated. So essentially, the floor is being cleaned with contaminated solution that is simply spreading around. On a tiled floor, the issue is even more complicated. Because of the rough surface texture of grout, mops just can't pull matter out of the grout line effectively. Soils and biopollutants that have been absorbed by the porous grout have little chance of ever being removed. Plus, during mopping, the grout line actually squeegees the soils and soap scum from the mop's fibers. This is why even newly constructed restrooms often exhibit the telltale symptoms of decline and chronic contamination, like stained, darkened grout lines and obnoxious odors. In fact, lingering stubborn odors are actually evidence of ongoing bacterial activity. Again, the operator applies automatically diluted cleaning solution to fixtures and floors in a low-pressure fan spray. As the liquid cleaning solution dwells, it loosens and lifts soils in preparation for vacuum extraction. In addition, the fluid brings residual dehydrated soils, such as dried urine, into liquid solution. If necessary, the operator can manually brush problem spots to further loosen soils. Then, the operator suctions all liquids and contaminants from the floor with the built-in wet vacuum. This high-flow fluid extraction process creates a liquid current that transports the unwanted matter into a recovery tank where it's contained and quarantined. The vacuum also leaves the floor clean and dry and ready for use. The drying action also inhibits bacterial growth. It's nearly impossible to catch all the debris underneath with a bulky dust mop. Eventually, the worker usually finishes by shaking the dust mop and sweeping any visible soil into a dustpan. But this just throws dust and dirt into the air, degrading air quality, and leaves plenty of dirt on the floor. Part of our total school cleaning program, this new method cleans classrooms better and keeps them clean all year without increasing your budget. For carpets, the custodian traditionally will use an upright or backpack vacuum cleaner, which can lose suction power as its bag becomes full. Plus, this contributes to poor indoor air quality. The wet-dry vacuum converter is just one more feature that allows one all-purpose no-touch cleaning system to tackle just about every surface and space throughout your building, from classrooms, hallways, and restrooms, to kitchens, stairwells, and more. Even more important, teachers and students can be greeted every day by a clean, healthy room, regardless of the previous day's activities.